2:30 a.m. out west on this Friday morning. I'm Jonathan Lemire alongside Caddy K. We appreciate you being with us. Donald Trump's historic guilty verdict is garnering attention across the U.S. Newspapers such as the New York Times, Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal have full spread covers of the former president's conviction. And now let's bring in State Attorney for Palm Beach County, Dave Ehrenberg, to weigh in. Dave, good to see you. So give us some of your initial thoughts. Were there any sort of surprise by the verdict or the speed at which it was reached? And what do you think in terms of possible sentencing?
Good to be back with you, Jonathan. I wasn't too surprised. The prosecution successfully established this firewall around Michael Cohen. That was really important because it neutralized Trump's best defense, which is to call Michael Cohen a liar and to say you got to just reject the entire case of the prosecution built around Michael Cohen. And the failure of Todd Blanche to adequately wound Cohen on the stand was devastating because I thought Blanche made a couple of crucial errors. First, he stuck by Trump's claim that Stormy Daniels was lying. And that allowed Daniels on the stand to provide a lot of dirty details about her sexual encounter with Donald Trump. And also, it cost Blanche and Trump credibility because no one believed that the sexual encounter didn't happen. And secondly, he claimed that the $35,000 a month payment to Michael Cohen was not a reimbursement, but for legal services. And that foreclosed what I thought would be Trump's best defense, which is that the legal services actually covered the reimbursement to a lawyer/fixer, and that Trump didn't intend to deceive. But Trump's defense made it easier for prosecutors to prove that Trump acted deceptively in turning an obvious $130,000 reimbursement into a bogus $420,000 legal expense. As far as what happens next, this is going to be on appeal for some time. I don't expect Donald Trump to be wearing an orange jumpsuit anytime soon.
Dave, I remember when Stormy Daniels testified and went into all of that detail, which I'm still kind of trying to block out of my mind. There was kind of legal speculation that she may have opened the door to a chance for an appeal from Donald Trump because there was too much salacious detail. I mean, she may also have helped the prosecution because she built credibility around the idea that this had actually taken place, and so that helped her credibility. But do you see there Donald Trump still a good chance for appeal for him?
Caddy, I do think that Trump has some legitimate grounds for appeal. One of them is, as you said, that Judge Merchan allowed a lot of these salacious details into evidence. Now, part of that was a self-inflicted wound by Trump's legal team, but the fact is that you're not supposed to allow evidence in that unfairly prejudices the jury against the defendant. So that's going to be an appealable issue. Another issue is, can a state prosecutor lean on federal campaign finance law to elevate a state misdemeanor into a state felony? Well, we'll see soon enough. And, you know, Donald Trump's going to appeal this as high up as he can. And so this is going to last, at least the appeal, well past the election. And as far as the chance of success on appeal, I do think actually he has a decent chance. But no matter what, at least for the time being, Donald Trump will be a convicted felon.
Yeah, and that will take him presumably through the election because that appeal is going to take some time. State Attorney for Palm Beach County, Dave Ehrenberg, thank you. John, you mentioned that this is making headlines in the United States. I had a quick check of global headlines. It is the front page news on every single paper in the UK as well.
Yeah, we've talked for so long, Caddy, about how it's almost hard to keep track of everything that happens with Donald Trump because it's such a fire hose of news, of scandal. But this one breaking through because of one word. And that word is guilty. And as expected, the Trump campaign started fundraising off that guilty verdict almost immediately.